Hey, this is KP, and this is Real Deal Sports Talk with me, KP. We are live from the Budweiser Event Center in lovely Colorado. And we are here for the Colorado Crush versus Spokane Empire. If you have nothing to do and you're listening to the show right now, come on out, get out here, watch the show. We are honoring the military tonight, that's right. Our armed men and women in the services. We got what they need, we got what's going on. We are thankful for them, and they are here tonight to help us celebrate and try and get this win against the Empire. They have gotten over us a couple times. We need to get back at them, and tonight's the night we're going to make that happen. We're going to put it all on the field, and we're going to get that job done, if you know what I'm saying, okay? That's what we do tonight. We got the music playing in the background. The game's getting ready to kick off here in 10-15 minutes. And you know what? We got a lot to go in this show today, okay? We got the NBA playoffs, of course. We got outside of the NBA playoffs, we're going to definitely preview tonight's game. We're going to talk about the Crush. We're going to talk about the Empire. We're going to talk about what both teams got going on, what you can kind of look forward to in tonight's game. We'll get into the NBA playoffs, like I said. We'll talk about Beth Mowens getting ready to call Monday Night Football game, first female to call a NFL football game in over 30 years. And I really, if we have time, I want to get to this Colin Kaepernick to the Seahawks situation. But we'll see if we have time for that as we work our way through the show today. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. This is Real Deal Sports Talk with KP once again. And just so everybody remembers the ways you can get a hold of us, the ways you can follow us. We try and get out there as many ways as we can. We're trying to build this up. We started from the bottom. Now we're working with the Crush. We're going to bring them up with us. So it's all love, it's all real, it's all good. The ways you can reach out to the show, the ways you can listen to the show. If you want to check out the website, go to realdealsportstalkwithkp.com. We have links to the show from the website. We have links to the Colorado Crush from the website. And we have links to the dirtcannon.com from our website. Also, we have a text line, 720-515-5597. That is our text line. We have our Facebook page, which now is back up and running. For some reason, some sports haters out there, they got down on us a little bit. They complained too much, and Facebook had us banned for a couple weeks. But we are back on Facebook, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. We got you on Twitter, all right? We out there in the Twitterverse too. We're doing it there. Follow us at Real Deal KVP. Check us out there. We're dropping the sports knowledge there for you too as well, and all the big stories coming around. We have our Google Plus community, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Post in there as well. Got into it with a guy the other day. Good conversation, good debate. Always willing to debate the listeners and sports fans alike. So while you're out there doing your thing, if you got something that you want to get off your mind, go ahead and check it out. Let's do it. We can make that happen. We can make that happen whenever we need to make that happen, you know? So yeah, definitely get at us. We'll make that happen. We'll make it good for you. Any of those methods, you can follow us, you can find us, and we'll be glad to have you, that's for sure. All right, let's get into this game a little bit, shall we? As far as tonight goes, as far as tonight's game goes, we got the Spokane Empire and we got the Colorado Crush, all right? As far as how those two teams rank out in the standings right now, Spokane on the season, okay, on the season, they are 7-4, where the Colorado Crush are 2-9. The Crush are currently in last place in the Intense Conference, and the Spokane Empire are currently in second place in the Intense Conference. As far as the rest of the standings in the conferences in the IFL, they go as follows. In the Intense Conference, we have in first place currently the Arizona Rattlers, followed by Spokane, tonight's opponent, the Nebraska Danger, Salt Lake Screaming Eagles, who are one up on us in the division, and then the Crush. On the other side, in the United Conference, we got the Sioux Falls Storm, coming in at 10-1, followed by Wichita Falls Nighthawks, the Iowa Barnstormers, the Green Bay Blizzard, and the Cedar Rapids Titans round out the United Conference on that other side there. So those are the standings currently in the IFL for both the United and Intense conferences. Now, as we get into tonight's game, be sure to follow the Crush at ColoradoCrushFootball.com. You can also go to GoIFL.com to follow any of the league news and updates as far as those go. We don't really need to talk about the schedule. I know I had been updating everybody on the schedule in previous weeks, but I don't know that we really need to go through every game that's been played. It's a long schedule and a lot of games that have been played since we were able to get back with you guys. We were not able to come to the game last week due to that crazy hailstorm we had down in Denver and throughout the I-25 corridor, as we got stuck with about $10,000 in hail damage from that incident there. So thank you everybody who's come out to the game tonight to watch and root on the Crush. Thanks to everybody who's listening to the show, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. It's all love. It's appreciated for sure. I appreciate everything that the Crush are doing for me. I know they appreciate everything I'm doing for them. And we got a good game tonight. The Empire are 2-0 on us on the season. But this is a team that I've told you guys, as I watched them in pregame warm-ups, as I watched them prepare, they have a level of focus that I don't necessarily see out of their opponents when they're here at the Budweiser Event Center. I watch this team in pregame warm-up every time that I'm out, and tonight what I saw was a team that was loose. They were focused. They had a look of determination on their faces. They were running sharp routes, communicating well. Coaches seemed loose, in a good mood, joking around, talking to the guys, talking to the other team. It's all one big family in the indoor game, even though they are on different teams. A lot of these guys have history playing with each other. They're doing the announcements now. We got kickoff here in about 5-10 minutes. So you might hear a little bit of that picking up in the background as we go through the show here. That's all part of being live, really. And again, on the season, the Crush, this is a team that fights. They've had trouble finishing off games. They'd have a couple more wins, I think, if they finished games off. They normally can keep it close. Second half, sometimes things get away from them. Let's hope tonight that as this game progresses, as this rivalry, this conference matchup progresses, that the Crush are able to keep this focus that I see in pregame, that I see in the first half, and keep that throughout the entire game. There's a good turnout tonight. I'm telling you, it's snowing up here in Loveland, Colorado. We got about, 4 to 6 inches of snow. It's still falling, but the fans are coming out. The teams are going to play hard. It's going to be good stuff. On the season, let's get to the stats for these teams, shall we? Let's get into what we got going on. The Colorado Crush on the season are averaging 194.5 yards per game. If you break that down into rushing and passing, it's 62.3 yards rushing per game and 132.2 yards passing per game, with an average of 37.8 points per game, which is kind of on the low side for an indoor football game. The top output for this team this year was against Wichita Falls. They put up 77 points. Now, here's something they've struggled with on defense at times this season. Yards allowed per game. They are definitely a bend and try not to break defense. They're averaging 249 yards a game given up. They're giving up 90.6 yards per game on the ground and 158.4 yards per game through the air, and they're giving up 53.2 points per game. That's going to put you at 2-9 on the season real quick when you're only scoring 37 and you're giving up 53. But like I was saying, this is stuff that you see not necessarily because they're not as good or they're not competing as hard as some of these other teams, but what you're seeing is late in the second half, they're starting to wear down a little bit. They're starting to lose some of that focus. And that's something you have with a young team. A team that hasn't been together very long, that doesn't have that chemistry yet. And with the Crush specifically this season, what you're seeing is a team that has had some people come and go. They've had some injuries, some guys put on ER. They haven't had consistency yet. A few weeks ago, Coach Jose Jefferson was let go, and Coach Marvin Jones has taken over for the rest of the season. Yes, the same Marvin Jones from Florida State back in the early 90s. Yes, the same Marvin Jones that played for the Jets throughout the 90s into the early 2000s. We hope to get an interview with him before the season is out, as not only is he the head coach of the Colorado Crush now, but he is definitely one of the linebackers I loved watching to play back in the day. So I can hear the national anthems being sung now, so they're working their way through the pre-game announcements and introductions. If you want to watch the game and you're not willing to come out in the weather tonight to get out to the stadium, go ahead, go to YouTube, search IFL. All of the indoor football leagues games are there live to watch for all of the fans to see. So check them out on YouTube, IFL channel. It's all going to be there. Leading passer on the season right now is still Liam. He's ahead of Sean by just a little bit, as Sean has retaken that starting role. 708 yards to 676. Sean most likely passes him tonight. Leading rusher for the Crush on the season is Josh Ford, number 13, the running back, 271 yards rushing on the season, which doesn't seem like a lot. However, this is the indoor game, and it's mostly passing based. They don't try and run the ball all that much. Leading receiver for your Crush this season is Kyle Kaiser. He is tearing it up on the season. Number 8 wide receiver, 522 yards on the season and 15 touchdowns. Just killing it for the Crush this season. Spencer Groner, number 44, he's our leading kicker and point maker on the season. 73 points for him. And let's see if let's do some defensive players, shall we? I'm a defensive guy. I always give you the offensive stats because of the indoor game. It's built around the offense. Total tackle leader for your Colorado Crush, number 2 defensive back, Derek Morgan, 65 total tackles on the season. Leading solo tackle artist on the season, number 6, Cardellro Jones, defensive back. He has 43 solo tackles on the season. As far as interceptions, we have 4 guys with 1. Cardellro Jones has 1. Ace Clark has 1. Daniel Lindsay and Kwame Bell have all picked off a ball this season. We're looking for a good game tonight, guys. I really am. This team is looking for another breakout game like they had against Wichita Falls, and it very well could be tonight in Colorado while it's snowing. The music's getting a little loud in the background because the game's getting ready to start. They did the introductions. If you're not here, check it out on the YouTube channel. Let's get into the opponent here real quick before the game gets started. As far as the Empire tonight, this is a team, as I stated earlier, they are in second place in the Intense Conference right now. So this is a big game for them heading into the end of the season as they compete with Arizona for that top spot. They are averaging 212.5 yards on offense this season, with 75.8 yards rushing and 136.6 yards passing on the season. They are scoring 44 points per game on the season, and their defense is giving up 189.2 yards, 56.7 on the ground, and 132.5 through the air, giving up 41.2 points per game. So as you can see, this is a game where the Crush are really going to have to, work their business as best they can. They're going to have to fight. They're going to have to scrape. Defensively, they're giving up 53 points a game, and Spokane's only giving up 41. That means they're looking for